Hello, welcome to Education Forum. I'm Maureen Babidia, and it's always a pleasure to bring you the trends and developments. Now, today we're switching it up as we are at International Academy, a school that's owned by the organization Music for Life. And now to start the show is the country director for Music for Life, an organization that owns Empower International Academy. He will be telling us more about his role here, and also he'll introduce himself to the public. It's an honor to have you on the show.
The honor is mine.
Please tell us about yourself.
My name is Chinji Abraham, and yes, I'm the country director for Music for Life, an organization that owns Empower. And my role is basically to sit on the board, steering committee, know the direction where we want the school to go, but also we have students that have scholarships here in the school. So that's my humble role.
Okay. Thank you so much. Now, great event you had going here. Could you tell us more about the event? What was the purpose of the event?
First of all, I want to thank you and your team for coming out. The event is the grand opening of Empower International Academy. I know we had opened earlier when COVID started and we closed. And since then we've been building our second phase. And after our second phase was done, we thought, well, you know what, let's open, because we also want to open it up to the public. Right now, all the students here are sponsored students. But at the beginning of this year, we said, listen, let's open it up to the public to come and join us.
Okay. Now, as the director, would like to know, what is the vision of Empower International Academic? This being a mixed Christian school, what is your mission and vision?
You have it right there. It's a mixed Christian boarding secondary school that runs a curriculum of Cambridge. Now, we want to offer world-class education to students from Africa. I'll say Africa because we want to go as far as other countries that might give us their students. And continents as well, you're so right. But our vision really is to make world changers through education, but look outside the box. Troubleshoot, solve problems, but with a Christ-centered approach. So that's what we want to do. And since you've been here, you can see it in the students. They're problem solvers. Because of the word academy that was offered to us, we have a niche into performing arts. So our students sing, dance, and do drama, and in a way express themselves that way. So that's what we want to do. Yes.
You seem to be big on performing arts here. I was wondering, does the Cambridge curriculum offer sciences as well?
Yes, it does. But because these students come from the African Children's Choir background, they've been performing around the world. So we want to keep that, call it talent, but we're using music as a vehicle to grow talents, improve learning, and also reach out to the public. Music is an international language. Imagine you're sad. What would you do? Go to music. If you're happy, what do? You go to music. But also in a way of getting your talent and expressing yourself. Many people have used performing arts as a vehicle to express themselves even better. I have a story of a girl who used to be very shy, but when you put her on stage, she just basks. And that's what the power of music and performing arts. Yeah.
When someone hears international, anywhere in a school, we assume it's very expensive. It's so different from other schools, of course, under the national curriculum. What is the affordability of the school? Because I heard you mentioning sponsorships. Are there any students here on their own? Are there students paying to come here?
I used to battle with that concept of affordability. And back then, you used to take the child to a school that is nearest to you. But in the recent past, people bus their children across the country to get to that school that they know the kid will get the best of what they have to offer. People sell land, people sell borders, people sell coffee. People would do anything, at least parents would do anything to have their child attain a certain kind of education or go to a certain kind of school.
Yes.
So I would start with, what is the parent in need of? Many parents don't want the Cambridge system. They don't want it. They don't like it. In fact, one parent came to me and said, for me, I like the traditional school.
Why do you think so?
For them, in fact, for them, their reason was their father was in that school, their grandfather was in that school, he was in that school, he wants his kid to be there. So not everybody is going to want Cambridge. But for those who want Cambridge and can afford Cambridge, Cambridge it is. So, yeah, it depends on what the parent wants, but also what they can afford. So to answer your question of affordability, yes, not everybody can afford a Cambridge, let's face it. Because when you get to the exams, you have to pay. Each exam is about 400,000 shillings. So to a parent who has a kid, for a parent who has a kid who has 5 papers, 5 tests, that's a no-go area. But I want to assure you there are parents who can afford it and don't want to fly to Nairobi. They don't want to go to the UK and they want to stay in Uganda. They want a boarding school because they want to avoid the jams and the traffic. They want a Christian school that will cater for that they don't have at home, because when they're at home, they're busy, they come back tired. This would answer that for such a parent.
Okay. All right. Now, like you heard from the director, let's move on to the impact to this community. How has Empower International Academy impacted the community today?
I think Empower started off by buying the property. And the land seller went home laughing. Then we needed employees or workers to build these structures. We went to the community. I remember we needed to plant grass. So I asked the guys, the contractors, I said, how long is it going to take? And he was like, we don't have so many laborers. I said, go to the village, buy the grass, go to the, and they brought about, I remember it was 50 women from the community. They were singing, they were offered lunch, and they planted grass. Of course, they were paid. But so that's one. Two, many of the fruits and vegetables that feed the school come from the neighborhood. And lastly, we have, at least in the kitchen, we have employees. But also in the future, we hope to enroll children on scholarships from the area. Yes.
Now, I understand this was a grand opening event.
Yes.
So the school is infant.
The school is infant. It's about 4 years old.
Okay, how do you see the future of Empower International Academy moving forward?
The future is bright. Where we started off and where we are right now, we've made huge strides in the caliber of the students we have. The collaborations we've made with our neighboring schools, like Bira Watoto, we have collaboration with the university here, Aru University. We have collaboration with the International School of Uganda. And all that helps our children be exposed to, one, the international setup, but to make friends with other schools. And I had forgotten to mention the impact on the community is because Empower is for E is for excellence, I is for integrity, the A is for action, for EIA. We have gone out to communities over the Christmas period and before Easter period, and the children have gone out and given foodstuffs to the community, cleaned up the community. And I remember over this last Christmas, I also participated. So sad that the mosaic then passed on. But we went to this home, Mud Hut, and we gave these 2 elderly people foodstuffs, and they smile. It was great. So we do impact community, and the future for the school is only brighter. But we want like-minded parents to come join us in the journey. Yes. We want to change the world.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
As we come to the end, do you have anything you'd like for the public to know about the school?
Yes, I want the public to know the location. We are located on Mitiana Road, away from Bujuko, a village called Nswanjere. We offer a world-class education, Christian-centered, and we hope to, and I say hope because it's a faith venture, we hope to build more facilities to get more students, but our niche is going to be in performing arts. We want to represent Uganda on so many stages using art, using music, and tell not only our culture, but our future of Uganda through performing arts.
With all that is said, do your children, students, maintain their identity? Are they not influenced by the Western culture or wherever the organization is based at? How do you maintain their identity here?
Once the children are here, they are in school, but they go home for holidays. And even in the grand opening, we had some parents that came along. So they remain rooted and grounded in their culture, in their heritage, their families, and we consider this as a partnership. Parents, teachers, and the students. So we maintain that triangle. It's not teacher, student only. The parents are very heavily involved. So even if we have, a child who's losing the parent is involved. Yes.
Now, considering the name of the organization, Music for Life, this echoes, of course, talent development in different angles. How has the school promoted individual talents in these students, ranging from discovering themselves? Yes, please tell us more about that.
We earlier on discovered that music being an international language, we needed to, and it breaks so many barriers, we needed to emphasize performing arts, music. And so these children come from a background where they've toured as children, they've toured the world and come back in a choir called African Children's Choir. But developing their talents individually, you kind of see it when they get into secondary. For example, we have a boy called Henry. Henry loves music and singing, and so Henry has recorded songs. We have Robert who loves playing the keyboard. We have other kids who have talent with music, singing, dancing, and drums. And so we not only have a music teacher to help them do that, we provide the equipment, but we also give them an opportunity to showcase what they have. So for example, ISU offered us the stage. We want to put up a play so that we go and showcase it. We have kids who want to record music. We help them do that. We put up a competition for art, drawing, and one of the boys called Kakonge is the one who has won it twice in a year. And I have a problem with that because I believe other artists are there. So we present them the platform and the opportunity to shine. And when they do shine, we have teachers who work alongside that. For example, we have Uncle Isaac, who's a great artist. So he's been working with Kakonge. We have music directors who have been working with Henry. And so in such a way, individually they develop, but collectively, if you hear them sing, I would encourage you to come here and hear them sing one Sunday. You'd be blown away.
Every Sunday they get to perform.
Every Sunday they hold their own church here and they perform at the end of the week, and it's wonderful. So we do encourage talent individually, but also collectively.
Does it play a role in admissions? Does a student have to be talented in a particular way to be a part of the Empower International Academy community?
No. I'll say no because the latest entrant didn't have musical abilities. Okay. But over the time of staying with us and working with his own peers, he gets into, even if he's not so good with music, he might be good at sports. And we encourage that too. And we've introduced a new sport called lacrosse because one of our founders loves lacrosse. You do?
I didn't know we had it in Uganda.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we started it last year, and our kids are slated to perform in some international competition. So we expose them the best we can.
That is interesting. Do you take them to competitions, international competitions?
We are going to start, because it starts with the collaboration of the schools, then you know their calendar, then you work around their calendar. So we are going to do that.
Thank you so much for your presence on our show, of course.
You're welcome.
And to our listener and viewer, parents, learners that would like to join Empower International Academy, you heard from the horse's mouth. This is the place for all of you that have different talents, all of you that want to be integrated in different fields in the learning process. Stay tuned as we interview more people. I'm joined by the head of school here at Empower International Academy. He will be introducing himself and tell us more about his role. You're welcome. Thank you for joining the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Edward Muonge, and by the grace of the Lord, I am the head of school at Empower International Academy. Empower International Academy is a school, secondary school, found along Mitiana Road, about 26 kilometers precisely from the city center. It is a school under the Music for Life or African Children's Choir as one of the projects that they do. It receives students aged 11 to 19, and we do follow the Cambridge Assessment International Education Curriculum.
Okay, right there at the curriculum. Now, to my understanding, you've attended school in Uganda.
Yes, I did.
So that means you've done our standard curriculum, national curriculum. How would you compare it to the Cambridge?
Yeah, that's a very good question. For starters, the Cambridge curriculum and the Ugandan curriculum are not far away from one another. In fact, the Ugandan curriculum, I must say, is a replica of the Cambridge curriculum. People who are slightly above our age, who studied some time back, they studied and they would do exams set by Cambridge. The only difference that lies there is that the Cambridge curriculum is so well resourced, well researched, the materials are available, and it has been around for quite some time. And then our Ugandan curriculum is a bit static in that maybe with now the new curriculum coming in place, at least there is a bit of a shift. But then previously it was so much about to, learn something, cram it or understand it, then go and reproduce it.
Okay, would you say the new curriculum currently, national curriculum, would you say it's similar to the Cambridge?
It's not similar, but it's there because it is now shifting the focus from grades, how much a child can cram, to how much a child can do. That's practical, and then skills development. And that is what the Cambridge curriculum also does in a way, because it's so engaging in that it's not about the teacher, but it gives opportunities even to students. Yeah.
Now, how long does it take for, I understand your classes, you don't name them as primary 1, primary 2, or S1, S2. You name them as year 1,
Yes.
year 2, year 3, year 4. How does one transition from the ordinary to the A level?
Okay. Now, just like it is with the Ugandan curriculum, we have got a senior 1. Senior 1 is actually an equivalence of year 8. Senior 2 is an equivalence of year 9. Senior 3 is an equivalence of year 10. Senior 4 is an equivalence of year 11. Now, just like it is in the Ugandan curriculum that after a child studying for 4 years, then they sit for UCE, the Uganda Certificate of Education. Now, when it comes to the Cambridge curriculum, after 4 years, a child sits an exam that is equivalent to O level, and we call it the International General Certificate of Secondary Education. It derives the name from the fact that the Cambridge curriculum is a UK-based curriculum, international curriculum. And the equivalence of an O level in the UK is called the GCE, General Certificate of Secondary Education. Now this is administered beyond So that's why they just put the I to make it international. So a child would study 4 years, then go for A level, which A level also goes for 2 years, and after 2 years, then they are good to go to university. However, in the middle, the first, that is year 8 and year 9, are more like, you know, they call them secondary one. They are like trials. So a child is being introduced to the Cambridge curriculum, and after the 2 years, a child and the school is at liberty to either do what they call the checkpoints, basically to test the readiness of this child, or they do what they call self-assessment tests, basically to help the school, the learner, and the parent to know where the child is and what kind of need they basically need to be able to start the O-level curriculum.
Okay, so this being a secondary school, of course you have students coming from primary
Yes.
school of the national curriculum. How is the national curriculum integrated with the Cambridge curriculum to help these students fit in?
Yeah, that's a very good question. As I said, the Cambridge curriculum is not far away, so far away from the national curriculum. In fact, some content is almost tailored the same. The difference normally comes in the delivery and the resources available to draw from, and maybe the kind of research that has also been done, and the fact that Cambridge is a global body. And then our national curriculum is ours here. But ideally, the transition is very easy, just like the aspect of teachers. Throughout the time I've been in the Cambridge schools, I've always told people that if you got a Ugandan teacher and you're training them to become Cambridge teachers, it is easier than any other teacher who has done a curriculum in the Great Lakes region here, because our curriculum is way much nearer to Cambridge than any other curricula within the region here.
Can students that have studied the Cambridge curriculum survive together with us in the real world? In terms of job competence, are they considered better than the students that have done?
That's a very, very good question. Previously, before now the new curriculum, you would find that Cambridge students would be very good at critical thinking because the curriculum empowers them to think. And then ours here, if I've had the opportunity to be in some of the best schools here as a teacher, but you find that a child will write an exam, give you 20 points, but then when it comes to expression, when it comes to critical thinking, when it comes to creativity, they will score very low. Yeah. But then a child who has done Cambridge curriculum, this is just a must. You know, it empowers them to think critically, it empowers them to research, it empowers them to learn writing, it empowers them to invent, because it encourages so much of the skills development as opposed to how much a child retains. Now, the only opportunity we have is that with this new curriculum, if well handled, that is going to be helping the learner somewhere to also level up. Then the other bit is that, of course, at some point we suffered that aspect of somebody not believing so much in the Cambridge curriculum, because sometimes you don't give what you don't have. If somebody does not know much about the Cambridge curriculum, then they may think that maybe the child is not well prepared. But then as time went by, it started, say, in Kenya. Kenyan universities realized that the students who did Cambridge were slightly better placed to go for university than the ones who did the 844, which is a program that is in Kenya. And slowly by slowly, universities are now beginning to appreciate the Cambridge curriculum and other international curricula. But also, us as the international schools or Cambridge schools, we reach out to, say, the registrars, the admissions officers, to deliberately educate them about the Cambridge curriculum. But most importantly, the Ministry of Education has also been very kind enough, one, to put in place a commissioner in charge of private schools and specifically international schools, and through that we have gotten a lot of support. in that now people are increasingly becoming aware of what Cambridge schools are and other curricula.
Now, enough about the curriculum. Let's dive straight into co-curriculars.
Okay.
Do you have, every time, I'll give us an example on myself. Every time I heard about international school, I imagined it's the most fun environment to go to school in. So what activities do you have here that, don't keep Jim a dull boy?
I know. Now, one of the things that we do, and we do pride ourselves for, is the aspect of being in position to break the monotony. You'll appreciate that in nearly every international school, you must have heard of what they call half-term. Half-term. So kids or students will engage into what we already know, the academic work, in the maybe most traditional ways we know, where a teacher comes to class, discussion, presentations, this kind of thing. But then international schools do what we call half-term. And half-term is not necessarily a time for the students to relax, but it is a time to give them the opportunity to do or learn differently. This is a time when they engage so much into projects. They can be into presentations. They do their research in different ways and in their different settings to really try to imagine what the real problems are today, for example, and which kind of solutions they can be in position to come up with. I'll give you an example. We had a time where the students were tasked to think through environment and the degradation and what could actually be the remedy to this. And you would see students going out of their way to research, come up with the presentations, and they give information that even us, it blows your mind. And then this is the kind of aspect that is always in the international schools. But then most importantly, we understand very well that a child needs to be all round. We are not trying basically to train or to bring about academicians only, but people who are talented. We are so much cognizant of talent development. And here we even pride ourselves because our school has performing arts as one of the top notches that we do have and look out for. So we give a lot of time to music, we give a lot of time to drama, we give a lot of time to, basically performing arts. But then most importantly, sports are key. Football, we are there. Swimming, we are there.
You have a swimming pool?
We don't have a swimming pool, but then we use the swimming pool for one of our partner schools, that is International School of Uganda.
Okay. Is it far from here?
It's far, but not, I don't know. It depends on how somebody looks at it.
Because swimming is very crucial for survival skills. It's important kids learn at a very young age.
Now, it is very crucial. But then the other bit is that we also do physical education as one of our subjects. And one of the games or sports that is examined is swimming. Kids can choose to swim. Kids can choose to say play basketball, football, volleyball, anything. So you don't want to limit. We have basketball. We have got volleyball. We have got football. Basketball is coming soon, but then we still reach out to ISU and use their facilities because they have opened it to us. Yeah.
Okay, now we'll dive straight into the disciplinary area. How do you ensure, do you have international students here? Or it's basically students from the country?
Yeah, right now we have students from the country.
Anyway, how do you manage discipline, to maintain discipline in the school as the head of school?
Okay, not even as the head of school, but as the school. We have invested a lot of time and the energy into something called the stoplight approach. The stoplight approach examines so much of the brain science, how a human brain works. And in many cases, you realize that I will react based on either how you acted towards me, or I might react based on my area circumstances that you didn't actually have an idea about, but because I'm hurting, then it's going to basically come up even when you're so nice to me. And now, so we have taken a lot of time to understand the brain science, and that is actually what the stoplight approach does. And having said that, we understand that people have emotions, and people also act based on a reflection of how they are and how they are feeling. So we do put a lot of time onto emotional intelligence, and we are training our students, we are training all our staff to basically have the understanding of how the brain works. For example, if, and this happens so many times in our traditional schools, where a child fails an exam, for example, and then the remedies, I am going to give you 5 strokes of the cane. So you give a child 5 strokes of the cane, and then after that you do corrections, and you still expect that child to be able to understand what you're teaching them. And so what we are saying is that we want to understand the state of this child, and then after that we now operate so much on the basis of relationships. In that I don't operate with a child with the mindset that I am a superior and this one is a minor or that kind of thing. No, we want to give them responsibility, and it's a huge facility for a child to be able to manage their affairs, and they take charge of their affairs with us being there to walk the journey with them. And I can tell you it has done us very proud, because when you come in here, we have got a discipline policy, one, because it is a requirement by the Ministry of Education and Sports, because much as we are an international school, we are still required to register locally. But it is one of the policies that is least used. Okay. Least, like the word least used, because our students appreciate that we need to do things much better, and they strive to even do things much better. And it is true, because nobody hurts the person they like.
And now let's move on to career guidance. Are there any programs put in place to ensure that these students, first of all, are guided in which careers they'll take on, all while maintaining their identity?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. One, in as much as possible, we start with the hiring. When we are hiring people who are ready to push our vision. One, and they can only push it when they understand it. So these are people who are going to understand who these kids are, what the organization stands for, and how far they must go. So those are the very first people to offer the career guidance. Okay. If you talk to any of the students here, you'll likely find that they find that the staff we have make very good role models to them in as much as possible. But then two, we have got very wonderful partners, both within and without. I'll give you an example of the people who did the construction here. Engineering Ministries International. You know, it's a Christian school, Christian organization, and they are wonderful. They have maybe possibly the best of the best. Now, those give us an opportunity, one, to talk to our students. We are able to move the students to the different sites, even beyond hours here, and they are able to always avail time to talk to the students. And these are people who they have structural engineers, they are going to have administrators, they are going to have people in finance, they are, you know, all sorts of people, surveyors. And so when they come in here, then they are able to talk to the students. They inspire them, and then they help them a great deal. But two, we also privilege that our organization has been around for quite some time. We are going to celebrate 40 years.
What's the name of the organization?
The organization is called Music for Life, the home of African Children's Choir. African Children's Choir is a brand name for Music for Life. Now, has been in existence for 40 years. And if you check, it has so many students that have actually gone through their hands, and they are better placed, I can tell you. You'll find them in the different departments within the country. As a result of that, DIUR is very much willing to come and talk to their youngsters, you know, and it's one way of giving back to the organization. Yeah. So when it comes to professionals or career, people have made it in career in all different walks. We are not short of them. They are just around.
And now to our viewers, learners and parents who would like to join Empower International Academy. You heard from the horse's mouth that this is the right place to bring your child, and not to worry about the difference in the national curriculum compared to the Cambridge curriculum. It's almost the same. It helps your child become more practical than, I'd say, job seeker. Here they are creating job creators. Stay tuned for more interviews to come. And now I'm joined by one of the most talented students here at Empower International Academy. He'll be introducing himself and telling us more about his art. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Please tell us your names.
My name is Peter Kakonge. I am a student at Empower International Academy, like you have said, and I am in the 10th year.
Okay. When did you first hear about Empower International?
It was way back, and I've always longed to come here.
Longed to study in an international school, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've been doing the Ugandan curriculum for my primary.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And for my secondary, I wanted to join an international school.
Okay.
And this was a great opportunity.
Okay. So now I understand the organization Music for Life owns Empower International Academy. But besides we get into the talent part, what has been your experience here at the academy?
It has just been more of educative and developmental. I've learned so many lessons from here because it's friendly and it's learner friendly and helps you, build your skills as a person. It is just excellent.
Okay, now coming from you, Director, you are one of the most talented students here. Tell us more about your art. What do you do particularly?
I mainly do art as in drawings and paintings. I also do the art of music. I write songs and sing them, perform them. Yes.
Can you play any instrument?
I am learning how to play the piano. Yes.
Now, how has Empower International Academy empowered you, first of all, in the development of your talent?
Well, for the part of the arts, it has given me an opportunity to be a part of an arts club, because here we have so many clubs and the arts club is one of them, and we just do those nice pieces and you can share them outside the school and people can just get to look at your good work. Okay. Yes.
How have you maintained your academic and talent without them contradicting?
Well, the school has very stable, schedules. So there is a time for class and there's a time for other co-curricular activities, which may include those that I've mentioned, music and arts. So in that way, I can balance my time for books and my time for the arts.
Without the other overlapping?
Yes.
The other. Yeah. Have you been to any competitions of maybe music, sports? Are you involved in any sports at the school?
Yes, I do sports. I do lacrosse.
Oh my goodness, I love lacrosse. I'm so glad I've got you. How is lacrosse?
Lacrosse is just a very fun game, and it's still one of those sports that has so many chances and opportunities, especially...
It's still so virgin in the country.
Yes, in the country.
Okay.
So it is just interesting to get to learn it, and it opens doors for...
You have lacrosse instructors in the school? Yes. Oh, that's very interesting. You're so lucky and privileged.
I'm glad.
Okay. And so being in year 10, you're looking forward to getting into the final year 11,
Yes.
Under the ordinary level. Are you excited?
Yes, and nervous too.
Okay. So you've not been examined under the Cambridge curriculum yet?
Not yet.
Ah, okay,
Yes.
I get the anticipation. Okay, it was lovely to have you on the show. I wish you all the best in your endeavors. And now on to other students. Stay tuned to find out more. And now I'm joined by the Senate President of Empower International Academy. He'll be introducing himself and telling us what he does as the prefect. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What is your name?
My name is Simba Henry. I currently serve as the president for the Student Senate. Okay. Yes.
What are some of your roles as the president?
My roles are to lead the student body, to represent them in the administration, to be a link there, and to guide and provide leadership services. Yes.
Now, I understand the school is owned by an organization called Music for Life.
Yes.
Are there any arts that you perform as a student individually?
Individually, I'm a musician. I'm an upcoming musician. I've started recording music, and actually some of my music is up there.
Really? You're going to give us your handles so we can support you.
Yes.
How has the school helped you develop this talent of yours?
Well, there's training. They've provided training in the music lessons. They've given us platforms to minister in church, which continues building on your talent. And last year, they gave me an opportunity to have a launch right here in school. Okay. So I had a launch right here, and the students stand up and the whole staff members, and it was really great. Yes.
I understand you're graded under the Cambridge curriculum, and you're in year 11, which is an equivalent of Senior 4 Arts, our national curriculum. Are you excited? Have you been examined before under the Cambridge?
Not yet. This is going to be our first time.
Are you excited?
Yes, yeah, kind of excited, a bit nervous, but I know we'll do it.
Okay, now this being a mixed secondary Christian school, that means you came from primary somewhere.
Yes.
Was it Cambridge or, the national curriculum?
It was the national curriculum, the primary school. Yes.
Do you find any major differences between the two curriculums?
There's a bit of similarity because Uganda was colonized by Britain. Yes. And the Cambridge curriculum originates from Britain, but there is a difference in a way that this curriculum enables you to think, to be innovative, to be creative. So you do research, they teach you how to feed.
More about music. How were you discovered? How did you discover that you are this good at music? And when were you given, these rights and privileges to record your own music? Under the academy?
Well, yeah, there is a treasure in every man. There's no empty person on this world. So Music for Life as an organization has helped me to discover the gold that God hid in me. So they chose me to join the African Children's Choir. So when I joined the choir, they trained us in music, and then we went abroad. We performed in USA and Australia.
That must have been fun.
It's very fun. So we toured, singing, having concerts in churches, theaters.
Was that your first time traveling?
Yes, that was my very first time, actually, very first time to step on an airplane, because I come from a village. I come from Luero. Kasiso. So they've supported me, they've offered training. So that is how this talent really came out. So it started with just singing. My first song to write, I wrote it actually when I was leaving Australia to come back to Uganda. So I recorded my song and I was like, I'm gonna miss you, Australia and America. So, and it looked fake at that time as a young person. But when you give this talent time, they grow. Yeah. So I kept on writing music the whole of my primary. And during COVID-19, that is when I got an offer to record. So I recorded my first songs.
Under the school?
Not under the school.
Oh,
this
who
was a
gave you the
personal
opportunity?
project. Some studio there in Luero,
Okay.
because we had that COVID-19 when the whole country was shut, but I had an opportunity to record during that time. So I recorded my music, and later on God continued opening up doors. I recorded my first video and I uploaded it last year. If it's of a song, it's called Bichibi Osiga.
Okay.
Yes.
Is this music on any platforms?
Yes, I have that music on my YouTube channel. It's called
Which is?
Simbwa Henry Music.
Okay.
And then they are also on the MP3s on a website called demagospel.com.
Okay.
Yes. So
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, seeing that I feel like you're so focused on your talent at this
Yes.
point. Does it contrast with the education, the academic part of it? How
not,
do you balance it out?
not really, because I'm not like running so much to music. Right now I'm majoring in academics.
Because you're a finalist.
Yes, and finishing this secondary level and
Yes.
going ahead. But when I go back for holidays, I get the opportunity to sing, to lead worship, to record. So that's how I continue doing music outside school. But I can't run two things like so much at the same level. So I am majoring in academics, but when I have a little hand in music, but it's growing.
Thank you so much
You're
for joining
welcome.
us on the show.
Mm.
As you've heard, for anyone that has a talent, this is the right place for you. Stay tuned to Education Forum for more interviews.
Part of the celebration for what's been accomplished here, not by one person, not by one organization, but by many people coming together. And honestly, I'm just blown away that I'm here. It means so much to me. And we were talking, we were talking on the way here, and someone said, God must really have wanted you here. And I said, I really wanted to be here. And God gives us the desires of our heart. So I'm so thankful, parents. Thank you for coming too. Students, you're amazing. You know, every time I come to Empower International Academy, we have to climb those steep steps. And halfway up, I stop and I admire the view. Okay, I'm catching my breath too, but you know, I admire the amazing view, the beautiful countryside. And then I turn and I look at the beautiful buildings.
I'm so sorry that it took you 2 years to get me off the desk, but we thank the Lord. The Lord was working with you, conniving with you behind my back, behind everybody's back, that he made the computer, the power just went off all the time, on and off, until I just got irritated and I said, I am tired. So when they said, we have come to drop the files, I said, no, you are not dropping them. Let's go. Because to me, that was an opportunity to make sure that this file would not sit on my desk. I really don't like it when people's files sit on my desk. It underlines the fact that we are slow at what we do. We do not care about people. And those are God's people. We are only sitting there in the place of God. And God can make anybody sit there to serve those people. If you understand that, then you would know that it is important that you do your best for everybody every time you can. It is what I believe in. And I want to thank you that you know God and you are introducing God to these young people. It's the best thing that will ever happen in anybody's life. Now, as I stand here, I feel proud, I feel honored, I feel blessed, I feel everything good. Why? Because I am the head of all the private schools, and especially the international. They say private schools and international, they have to add it there. Although we do not have an international school that belongs to government. I love Empower. I really love that. And when I came out here, I was saying, let me see if Empower will show up. It is what I was looking for. And I saw it, and I was convinced.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Congratulations. Empower International Academy is officially open.
And that brings us to the end of this week's episode on Education Forum. Our main interest today has been how adequate infrastructure, talent development, and leadership skills can contribute to a safe and comprehensive delivery of education and learning skills. I'm Maureen Babidia. Stay tuned to UBC TV. See you next time.